Good afternoon, friends. So, today we are going to see a demonstration of vibration comprehensive experiment teaching system, which is kept in front of you. First, I'm going to tell you about its parts. Like, this here is a simply supported beam. This is a piezoelectric accelerometer. This is an exciter. This is used for cantilever experiments. It's a uniform beam. Then it is a freedom string. It is a non-contact exciter. This here is a oil damping. It is used for one of the experiments, oil damper to be precise. This is an impact hammer along with the force sensor attached on it. It comes with the different attachments. We have got steel attachment, rubber attachment. This is used to see the vibrations when it comes, so you can identify that the natural frequency has occurred. So these beads here, they start shaking or vibrating. This is rotating disc. This is used for another kind of experiment. These here are free weights. This is the motor, and also it is an active isolator. Then coming to the electronics part of the system, here we have two charge amplifiers which are like used for powering one of this impact hammer, which is connected with the channel number 9, and another one is piezoelectric accelerometer, which is connected to the channel number 10. These here are AD channels. They run on voltage input, and this gives the power to the exciter which is connected here. So in this experiment we won't be needing this part of the system. We are just concerned with these two charge amplifiers, and this is again for USB connection with the laptop. So coming to the software panel, we have got a nice interface. So we can do many kind of experiments on this, like mechanical vibration, simple harmonic motion and all that. But today we'll be just concerned with the first experiment, which is model of simply supported beam. We are going to see the model structure of this simply supported beam. So before starting with the experiment, first I would like to tell you that you got to start the software, and after like starting the software, we need to calibrate the parameter settings. We have to do this every time. If you forget to do this, your experiments won't run. So as you can see, here is the panel for charge channel 10, which is connected with the piezoelectric accelerometer, and charge channel number 9, which is connected with the impact hammer. So we have set the sensitivity which provides the optimum result. As you can see, it is selected with the charge input, as these are charge amplifiers, and here is the gain, and these are the units. So I'll just click here, setting charge amplifier. Okay, once it is done, you can just click on OK and exit. Now we will start with the experiment. So first of all, you have to like create a job or open the previous job if you want to read in the previous experiment. So we are going to create a new job with the name new job. Okay, once it is done, it selects the response channel as 10 and response channel last channel as 10, which is nothing but the piezoelectric accelerometer, and force channel is our channel number 9. We are going to test the multi impact and single response. So this means that we are going to impact the simply supported beam multiple times on the different nodes, and each time we hit it, we'll get a response from this accelerometer. So there are different type of experiments which can be done, which you can always refer our theoretical manual for this. Sometimes we can have multiple accelerometers and we can just hit one time, and multiple response can be generated with the help of multiple accelerometers. But today we are just going to see the multi impact and single response. So I'm going to show parameters here and then click on continue. Okay, so this is the window where our experiment would be conducted. So here you can see the force is depicted with the yellow color, and accelerometer is depicted with the red color. Okay, so I'm going to click on oscilloscope C. So first you have to see everything is working fine or not. So I'll just hit here on the simply supported beam. And you can see a spike in the red channel, which is for the accelerometer. And if I hit the hammer, then you can see a spike in the yellow. So there is a spike in the yellow one also. Okay, so everything is working fine. So now we have to like clear the offset. Okay, once you clear the offset, you can like again hit it. Okay, so you can now start with the triggering. What triggering will involve is you have to hit on one of the nodes and you can record the response of the accelerometer. So there are multiple options here, as you can see. So we are going to calculate the transfer function of every node and take the average, and we are seeing the display of real and imaginary. Here you can see the real part and the imaginary part, and there are multiple other options, but today we are just going to see the real and imaginary part. We have fixed the coordinate and we have selected the colors also. So I'm going to start with the triggering. I will hit 3 times so that we can have the average value, which helps in getting the optimum results. So we have selected the node number as 1 and the gain is also set as 1. You can always change the node number here. So I'm going to start with the triggering. So as I click the triggering, I will trigger it 3 times. Okay. So after that you can stop the triggering, and if you see that the results are fine or not, this you can see by looking at the real and the imaginary part. If imaginary part is above the real part, then you are getting the right results. If it is vice versa, then you have to take the other reading and you can delete the node reading from here. So as I can see, the results are fine as imaginary part is above the real part, but in the second triggering I guess the results are not good. So we can just delete this data and take it again. So I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to trigger it again. Okay, so I'll stop the triggering now, and I think results are fine. So I'll select the other channel, and this process goes on till you can hit it on the second, third, fourth. And also very important thing, when you are conducting this experiment, you need to dismantle this exciter, which we have already done, so that it does not interfere with your experiment. Okay, so what I have done is I have already like calculated the data previously, so I'm going to show you the animation of that, the how does it look. So I'm not going to consider this data, this experiment takes lots of time. So what I'm going to do is go here, and I'm going to open a project job which we have done earlier on 24th May. You just need to click continue. It asks you read in last saved data, so you just click on yes and read in data finished. Okay, so we have got the last recorded data. We just need to go to animation, and it will ask you for the animation file which are auto created when you do this experiment. There are many other files which are created. You can refer the manual of this, like how and what are all files created. Go to animation beam, you just need to show the data. So this is a previous data which we calculated. Any other operations here, you can increase the gain, you can lower the speed, you can change the vertical angle, the horizontal angle, you can like make it still, you can select the node numbers, black and white, and everything. Okay. So this was the experiment modal shape of a simply supported beam. We have also one another feature in our software that you can like enter any other shape. For example, this is a shake table we have. So you can find the modal shape of the shake table. With that experiment, you just need to change the parameter settings and you need to enter the coordinates, and you can have the same similar kind of a structure which would appear there. And here we would like hit on the every single floor of the shake table. This is another